What's up, everyone? It's Denise Salcedo. I'm out here at Radio Row at Mandalay Bay, and with me right now is the president, the head honcho of AEW, Tony Khan. Tony, how are you doing? I know you've done a million interviews.
It's great to see you, Denise. When I saw you were here, I wanted to do one with you, and I saw you were talking to Darby earlier, and I thought it would be great to visit with you. It's the weekend of the big game, Super Bowl weekend, and we've got AEW coming to Las Vegas tomorrow for Collision. Got a big Rampage on TNT tonight, and it's going to be a great week, coming off what I thought was maybe our best Dynamite ever. So it's very exciting to talk to you about it.
It definitely was. There's lots of news that we're just going to go ahead and dive right into. So let's talk about it. AEW Big Business. Everybody was like, kind of putting the Easter eggs together of things that we were seeing there. Tony, what can the people expect from Big Business?
Well, I'm excited to come to Boston and have a great show. I think Boston is not only one of the best cities for AEW going back to the very first weeks of Dynamite. We did our second show ever there, but this show will be second to none. AEW Big Business is going to be a great show, and I'm really excited about it. I think everybody's reading and interpreting what they think is going to come, and I think that's awesome. You want to build the speculation for Wednesday, March 13th, AEW Big Business. The pre-sale started today, and we're off to a huge start. This is going to be a very successful event, and I can't wait to come to Boston and keep this great run, keep this momentum going. I mean, it's been awesome. Just this past week, I thought Collision on Saturday, one of our best shows, and Collision's been on this amazing run of shows week in, week out. This past week was another great one. I mean, I thought it was going to be really challenging coming off the great cage match we had, the Trios Elimination Steel Cage. That was an amazing show, and then another great one last week on Saturday. And we've done now 227 episodes of Wednesday Night Dynamite, and to have 227 episodes and maybe the best one ever, and I don't know how that was even possible to have such a great show, to start with Hangman and Swerve, 30-minute Broadway, and set up for Revolution, to have timeless Tony Storm and Deonna Purrazzo, the rivalry continuing. Tony and Red Velvet had a great match, and excited to see Tony and Deonna tomorrow on Collision before they collide at Revolution for the world title. And so much great stuff happening. You mentioned Big Business, but to me, in addition to Big Business, at the forefront, so exciting to talk about Sting becoming an AEW World Tag Team Champion with Darby. I know you were just with Darby earlier, and we're so excited about Sting's final encounter at Revolution.
So, that moment, by the way, when Darby and Sting won the titles and they're out there raising the championship belts. Tony, you are a lifelong pro wrestling fan. What did it mean to you to see Sting hold gold in your own company?
It's one of the greatest feelings ever. It was so great to see Sting and Darby become the World Tag Team Champions. I think they embody in so many ways what AEW is about, trying to take maybe the greatest legend of wrestling. It's maybe the best example of this, trying to take somebody and highlight them and showcase them at their best to the fans and give them that great run and make the fans happy, but also put them with a wrestler, in this case Darby Allin, who I believe complements Sting and Sting complements Darby. They go so well together. They had never worked together. They didn't know each other. And Sting, honestly, when he came in, didn't know as much about Darby. And when I suggested him as a possible partner, a possible somebody that maybe he could bond with, they became the greatest of friends. The relationship between Sting and Darby is so authentic. I think that's part of why it's worked so well. Sting has been a great mentor to Darby, but truthfully, to bring Sting into wrestling in this decade where he had been out for a long time, I think Darby's been the perfect partner to help him. In some ways, Darby's mentored Sting. Sting's doing crazier stuff than he's ever done. The matches he's had in 2024, you're seeing Sting do some of his highlight reel wildest stuff in his 60s, and I think it's all because of the AEW fans, and he wants to make the fans happy, and it's really cool that he has a chance to do that with the send-off at AEW Revolution coming up March 3rd on pay-per-view.
So, Tony, I got a random question for you. How much wrestling do you think you watch in a week?
Well, that's a great question. It depends. A lot of it depends on what my travel's like, because I watch a lot of wrestling, AEW and other companies. It was great, this time of year, New Japan Pro Wrestling really kicks things into gear. They just had Wrestle Kingdom I've live tweeted a few New Japan shows this year, and I love watching their product in particular. I love Lucha Libre, and I've been a big CMLL fan. I'm not shy about that. It's been great having Mystico in AEW. Exciting to have Mystico on Rampage again tonight, where Mystico's on this great undefeated run in AEW, and we've got all these great stars from CMLL that have come in, and certainly, I think, made some new fans for CMLL and introduced these great Lucha Libre stars against the biggest stars possibly in AEW, some of our biggest names like Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and keep that going tomorrow night on AEW Collision here in Vegas. And the fans have a chance to come out and see these great international stars, to have Tomohiro Ishii, the 6-time New Japan Never Openweight champion, come and wrestle Orange Cassidy for the international title on Collision. It's great to bring in the best international stars, and that's a match that's never happened before, and you couldn't ask for, in my opinion, a better, bigger match to bring to Collision for the international title than Orange Cassidy versus Ishii. And then bringing in top CMLL stars like Star Jr. and Esfinge to take on Mox and Claudio tomorrow on Collision. It's awesome. And then we have Tony and Deanna both wrestling on the same show. Keep an eye on that. Just awesome what's happening in AEW, I think.
It definitely is, and I gotta tell you, man, seeing all of the luchadors come through, I'm like, yes, we're getting some more Lucha Libre on AEW. That's always pretty cool. Now, I got a little bit of a question for you regarding fans who have been wanting to see AEW's content on a streaming platform. Now, there was a recent big announcement that Fox, Warner Brothers, and ESPN are joining together to create a streaming sports platform. What do you think that means for AEW, or what it can mean for AEW?
It's really exciting timing. AEW, we do not have a streaming platform that we are with domestically right now. I think it's something the wrestling fans have been calling for. We have the library, we have the content, but we also produce great new content, including the great pay-per-view events we do that are streaming pay-per-views right now. I think there's a ton of opportunity in the market and clearly demand for it. And seeing what's happening in the industry right now, people have seen other big streaming deals happening in wrestling, and I think in particular for AEW, the stage is set for us to have a great media rights year, and by the end of the year, we'll know the home for AEW going forward. Right now, we have great thing going with every Wednesday night on TBS, every Friday and Saturday on TNT, both. I love that. That's great. We have a great opportunity to find out where Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision are going to live going forward, as well as the streaming service, and it's exciting things happening for us right now. You know, our ratings domestically and internationally, some pretty cool milestones. You see AEW very competitive on Wednesday nights with the NBA, and it's 3 out of 4 weeks that we beat the NBA on ESPN straight up on Wednesday night Dynamite. That's pretty cool. And the shows have been great. I think that's only going to continue to build an audience now. Recent run of shows has been some of our best stuff on Wednesdays, but also on Saturdays. Collision, like I said, has been really strong. What we did this week, I saw the numbers, you know, for the show before us, we brought in about 9 times more viewers than the show previous. So that's pretty good to go 9x your lead-in this business. That's a very good thing. So I was very proud of that, and I think a lot of good things happening. And excited for Rampage tonight with some of our biggest stars and some great international wrestling tonight on Rampage. And just a great time for the company going into Revolution. And you mentioned Big Business, which is looming.
Yes, it definitely is. Well, Tony, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I know you got way more interviews coming up, so thank you so much. And guys, we'll catch you guys on the next one.